So there was some confusion about the way that nextLine works, and with some of your programs, it seemed as if nextLine doesn't even register, it doesn't even read, and I just want to kind of explain how that works. And so here we have a KB reader, scanner, and we have an int num and a string word. We ask for a number, we enter in a number, read one in, and then we ask for a word and we read one in. The key here is that we're using nextLine on the second read in of a word. And so if I go ahead and clear this and then I compile and I'll run it, I'm going to enter my number 5. I'm going to hit enter once and it's going to end the program. So it's going to print out please enter a word, and it's not going to do the kbreader.nextLine, and it's not going to print out, well, it does print out word, but there's nothing inside of it, right? So what the question here is, what is going on with the nextLine? Why isn't it running? And so what's happening here is that it is running. So when we enter in the number 5 and we hit enter, what's being read in by nextInt is simply the number 5. And then the return, the new line character, is not being read in. Okay, so num is equal to the 5, but there's a new line character that's still hanging off on the edge there. And why is that? It's because, hold on, let me rerun this so I could show you. So nextInt, if I have this as my input, it is going to read in the first number that it sees. It's not going to read in any of this additional characters. And when I enter in one number and I hit enter, it's the number 4 along with a new line. So there's a new line there. And what's being read in here is the number 4, but not the new line. And then it prints out, please enter a word. KB reader takes what's left over from the previous input, the new line, and word is equal to the return, right? It's equal to the new line, and it prints out the new line, which shows nothing, and ends our program. So you need to be careful when using the nextLine along with nextInt or next any of the other ways to read in values, because those other ways don't take into account the spaces. It doesn't take into account the entire input that's being inputted, which includes a new line at the end. The only one that does is nextLine. Right, that's the only one that does. So using nextLine followed by a nextLine followed by a nextLine followed by a nextLine, that's fine, because you don't have to worry about the new lines, because the nextlines receive all of that information. But the nextInt and the next, they don't take in the new line. So if you use nextLine after nextInt or next, then you're going to have the problem of the following nextLine reading in the return, reading in the new line, and it appearing that it did not function, or skipping over line 14 when it is not skipping over line 14.